team tied 8-8. JV softball lost to BFA St. Albans. Varsity baseball lost to BFA St. Albans 11-5. Girls varsity tennis lost to Stowe, but beat Mount Mansfield 6-1. Boys tennis lost to Stowe, but beat Mount Mansfield 4-3. Girls varsity ultimate lost to Montpelier 15-0. Boys varsity ultimate beat Middlebury 12-6, and girls varsity lacrosse beat Colchester 25-7, and the JV team won 14-1. The girls track and field team placed second to CVU in the 5-team meet hosted by South Burlington on Saturday. Hannah Angel won the shot put and discus again. Lizzie Jones won the long jump and pole vault again. Isabel Bostic won the high jump and anchored the winning of the 4x800 relay to lead the girls. The boys won the meet led by Carson Smyer's sweep of the hurdles. Jaden Thompson won the 100 and 200, Aiden Brody the triple jump, Miles Thornton Sherman the pole vault and 4x800 relay with Evan Thornton Sherman, Hale Boyden, Kai Lillyquist, and Gabe Hatch. Good job, you guys. Thank you. So it was a couple of months ago when Haley Buick and Mr. Stark asked me to visit the wood shop to see Haley's project, which was to build a rocking chair. As they both described the unique difficulty of making a chair, I sat in it and tried its play and its particular balance. It's a chair that keeps your posture proper and doesn't just recline, but also doesn't fight your sitting back. I thought about how complex and precise the forces are that allow us to find comfort and equilibrium in the world. Mr. Stark wrote to me last night in anticipation of this presentation of Haley's chair. He wanted me to be sure to tell you about the unwavering dedication that Haley showed to this project. I'm going to talk a little more about that in a minute. Mr. Stark also wanted me to mention, which is absolutely remarkable, that his woodworking program has the largest number of young women in non-traditional CTE programs in the entire state. This year, the young women students have really shined, producing near professional quality pieces of furniture, including Haley's. It's possible that the hybrid COVID schedule allowed students to become more patient and take the necessary time to create these pieces. Possibly it's a positive thing to come out of COVID. Mr. Stark also sent me some quotes that I'm going to read after I say a little bit more about this chair, because I'm going to say some things about it that might seem like a stretch, but Mr. Stark also feels the same kind of inspiration that I do. So part of lining things up so they sit the way they should, or they move the way they should, is called justifying. It's making things right, making them just. The word comes from the Latin root for right or upright, which is, of course, the same root as the word justice. It's helpful to think about justice in terms of straightening things up, placing things in proper proportion so they obey laws, so the world can line up along the laws that we've made for living together in peace and harmony. The just elements of this chair contribute to its ability to obey higher laws, the laws of nature. It's not just obeying those laws, though, or recognizing them enough to conform. This chair is helping us stay balanced, not only so we can sit right or sit straight and not fall, but it's also helping us enjoy the play and fight of forces that govern our balance. It's a celebration of our ability to take active pleasure in something working the way it should, something that allows us, if we choose to see it this way, to participate in getting things right, in rightness itself. All of those of you who make things might be able to relate to this idea. There are things happening in the world today that can make it difficult to believe that justice is, in fact, the natural state of things, or even that it's achievable. The pandemic has upended all of our assumptions about how we can move safely through the world. Violence does the same thing. It's the definition of injustice, to violate and destroy these things that have been carefully and meticulously made to stand and sit right. And violence can't solve injustice or restore the peace of things in balance. Only versions of the kind of care and patience and determination that Haley summoned to make this chair can do that. There's fighting in the Middle East that some would say is the response to ongoing injustice there. We have people here who may feel differently about what constitutes the right balance of forces that would end that conflict. But I imagine and hope that they agree that balance can't be found by continuing to fight and continuing to kill. There's ongoing injustice in our own society that gives some the illusion of balance at the expense of others' oppression. The killing of George Floyd last summer has not been undone by the conviction of Derek Chauvin, the man who murdered him. But what that verdict, that saying of truth, allows is a recognition of what balance looks like, what peace might look like. So it might seem a stretch to take a common thing like a chair and give it so much significance, make it a sign of peace and justice. But I believe when Mr. Stark thinks about doing beautiful things with wood, he's thinking about just these things. And Haley was thinking about just these things, making things right. Mr. Stark sent these wonderful quotes from various folks about woodworking that I'd like to read before we go. When trees mature, it is fair and moral that they are cut for man's use, as they would soon decay and return to the earth. Trees have a yearning to live again, perhaps to provide the beauty, strength, and utility to serve man, even to become an object of great artistic worth. Fine things in wood are important, not only aesthetically as oddities or rarities, but because we're becoming aware of the fact that much of our life is spent buying and discarding and buying again things that are not good. Some of us long to have at least something somewhere which will give us harmony and a sense of durability. I won't say permanence, but durability. Things that through the years become more and more beautiful, things we can leave to our children. And finally, worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. I want to congratulate Haley and all the seniors who completed extraordinary capstone projects for inspiring us, for looking to put things into better balance, and for working so hard and so well. You should be so proud, and we're so proud of you. And I'm going to refrain from saying that you rock. Have an excellent day, everybody.